the math Genuis Grigori Grisha Perelman. In 2000s, the world's leading mathematicians gathered in Paris to identify 7 of the most important unsolved problems in their field. The non-profit Clay Mathematics Institute organized the meeting and pledged $1 million to the first person to solve any of the 7 millennium problems. So far, only one has been solved. French mathematician Henri Poincaré's 1904 problem about the nature of space. Poincaré suggested that a 3-dimensional space with no holes can be made into a sphere without ripping or cutting it. However, he believed his conjecture to be true but couldn't prove it. His conjecture was generalized to any number of dimensions, including 4 dimensions, which was particularly challenging to solve. In 2002, a mysterious paper floated on the internet. Within this paper was a solution to the Poincaré Conjecture. The author was Russian mathematician Grigori Yakovlevich Perelman, known as Grisha. Grisha grew up in the Soviet Union and attended an elite high school in St. Petersburg, specializing in math. At 16, he won a gold medal at the International Mathematical Olympiad with a perfect score. Being part of the Soviet Olympiad team allowed him to bypass the university's discriminatory admission quota. After completing his studies, he did graduate work at the renowned Steklov Mathematical Institute's St. Petersburg branch, unheard of for a Jew. Influential figures like mathematician Alexander Alexandrov campaigned on his behalf and offered to supervise him. When Grisha began his graduate work in 1987, the Iron Curtain was starting to lift, allowing Soviet citizens to travel abroad for the first time in decades. Mikhail Gromov arranged for Grisha to give talks in the US on geometry, his area of expertise. Gromov mentioned Grisha to the right people, ensuring he was invited to do postdoctoral work at NYU's Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences and Stony Brook University. Grisha moved to the West Coast to take up a prestigious fellowship at the UC Berkeley Miller Fellowship. When his fellowship came to an end, the top American universities tried to poach him. Princeton's top brass approached him about becoming an assistant professor and asked for his CV. Grisha refused Princeton's job offer, and Tel Aviv University offered him a full professorship. He returned to Russia working quietly to tackle one of the most difficult math problems of all time. Grisha published 3 papers totaling 992 pages. He sent an email to about a dozen American mathematicians, informing them of the first paper's upload to the public forum arxiv.org, run by Cornell University. Mathematicians spent over 3 years scrutinizing his proof to see if he had really solved the problem. Richard Hamilton was not one of them, and Grisha was hurt that Hamilton showed little interest in his achievement. Grisha was invited to lecture at several American universities, and by 2006, it became clear that he had indeed solved Poincaré's conjecture. In a confusing twist, 2 Chinese mathematicians, Cao Weidong Cao and Zhu Xiping, claimed they had proved the Poincaré conjecture, calling it a crowning achievement, but the crown belonged only to Grisha. Yet, he declined the $1 million prize. Money never motivated him. In a rare interview with The Telegraph, Grisha explained that he was not interested in the attention. "I do not think anything that I say can be of the slightest public interest." He said that newspapers should be more discerning about who they write about. He didn't show up to the awards ceremony in Madrid. Despite offers to teach at MIT, Princeton, and Columbia, he turned them all down. The mathematician and investor Jim Simons, see my past article on Simons, who had elevated Stony Brook's math department to top-tier status, reportedly offered Grisha any salary in any terms he desired. But Grisha refused and returned to Russia in the spring of 2004. He resumed working for the Steklov Institute and was promoted to lead researcher, receiving a salary of around $400 a month. In December 2005, Grisha left the Steklov Institute. According to author Gessen, Grisha reportedly told the Institute's director that while he had nothing against the people here, he had no friends and, in any case, he had been dissatisfied with mathematics and wanted to try something else. he quit. Now, not only did he withdraw from the mathematical world, but from society as a whole. Very little is known about what he got up to afterward, except that he lived with his mom. The Clay Institute used Grisha's prize money to fund the Poincaré chair, a temporary position for young, promising mathematicians at the Henri Poincaré Institute in Paris. Grisha's story is both inspiring and thought-provoking, highlighting the incredible heights of human intellect and the personal choices that define our lives. Nouriel Gino Yazdinian.